Welcome to the Not So Intellectual Podcast. This is your host, and it's I, Rick.
Welcome to the Not So Intellectual Podcast. On the show today, we are welcoming Andrey. Andrey is a would you say up and coming person who's just dabbling in the 3D animation.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
It's something that I got into during the pandemic because everybody was stuck at home at their computer, myself included. And I just discovered it's something I really enjoy doing.
Hell yeah. Me and Andrey know each other. We work with each other for about like a good couple of months. I would say like 8 months, right?
Well, it depends. If you count when I was still driving, then we probably worked together for closer to 2 years, 2.5 years.
Okay, yeah, you're right. No, I forgot how long I fucking was there at our
Yeah,
old job. But let's
yeah.
aside from that, have you been, man? How have you been? Is there anything new in your life that you're working on other than your 3D animation?
I've been good. Nothing really new, just dealing with family stuff, the usual drama. I've been working on that buggy project that I sent you a picture of probably a few times now. And yeah, just playing games as much as I can. And
Nice.
that's about it. Yeah.
Uh, what game are you playing?
Um, I started playing my favorite game again, which I'm sure you know by now is Horizon.
Nice.
Because after Fallout, the TV series came out, I tried to really get into Fallout 4 again on the PS5, and I just had a really difficult time enjoying it because of how kind of clunky the game and the game engine is compared to more modern things.
Uh-huh.
So it kind of has taken away from the experience for me, unfortunately, and that's why I ended up going back to Horizon because, well, I love the game.
I never played Horizon. You explained to me what was it about, and I really dug the story that you were telling me. So it's something I definitely want to get back into, or at least try my hands on. You say it's available on like PlayStation though, right?
It's on PlayStation. It's also been ported to PC, both Horizon Zero Dawn, which is the first one, and Forbidden West, which is the second one. So you could really play it on any platform.
Oh, sweet. I have
Well, probably not Xbox, yeah, but or maybe Xbox too. I don't know if it's on PC. Maybe you can.
I have to check that out. I'm not quite sure, but there is one thing that I was tripping out on, and I can finally play these games that were so exclusive because of fucking PCs. And I'm barely scratching the surface. I'm right now. People who follow me on Twitch, they're just watching me play Snap, and that's basically all I've been playing on my new computer. But I definitely want to push it once I like feel a bit more comfortable. I even have like a what is it, the 8-bit dough. Have you ever heard of those controllers?
I've heard of them, but I've never used one.
It's really good. All right, so
Okay,
and it's
that's really
basically
cool.
like a universal controller. You can use this controller with what is it, PlayStation, Xbox, connected to anything that's able to have Bluetooth, and you can control it. You can even use it on your phone if you have that type of situation on you. But yeah, do you like those type of games? Do you like those like mobile games? Are you more of a sit down and like hunker in and play those long
Yeah,
hours?
yeah. Like I don't play every day. I don't even play every week. Sometimes I go 2, 3 weeks without even turning on my PlayStation. But when my day off comes around or my days off come around, I've been known to put in a good 14 to 16 hour session back to back.
Fuck
So
yeah.
yeah, I haven't really played mobile games. I've kind of run into a lot of mobile games that seem to misrepresent themselves in their advertising, and then when you get the actual game, it's absolutely nothing like what the ad was. So that kind of made me shy away from those. I'm more of a mainstream, I guess, AAA title kind of person, but I do love indie games that aren't deceptive in their marketing. Absolutely.
I agree. There is a lot of, what do you call, shit games out there. A
Yeah,
lot of shit
yeah.
games out there. Easy fucking. I want to say that they're like spamware. Be careful out there of what you choose to download. Um, but yeah, they I agree. They are few and far in between really good mobile games out there. I really like some of the fighting games that are surprisingly good on the mobile game. If I'm not sure if you ever played the what is it, the Superman Batman, but it's Street Fighter, not Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat.
I haven't played Mortal Kombat since, and I'm about to date myself, but I'm sure people can see by the beard that I'm not young. Last time I played Mortal Kombat was on the Sega Genesis.
Hell yeah.
And the last fighting game I played, I think, was Soul Calibur 2 on the Dreamcast.
Who was your guy?
Nightmare. That big ass dude with the giant sword.
Oh, giant sword. Hold on. Let me
Yeah.
let me see.
I think it was Nightmare, or yeah, I think it was Nightmare.
Let's look it up real quick. Nightmare. Street Fighter.
Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur. Soul Calibur. All right. No, I see him now. Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, that was my character right there.
No, I remember getting really fucking annoyed playing this game because in the beginning I sucked so fucking. I didn't know how to play. And then I decided to be like, you know what, fuck it, let's just play another game. And then another iteration came out, and that one was a lot better. I think it was just better graphically, and I just had a better like interface system, at least when it came to whatever game I was playing it on, and I was able to hold my own a little bit better. But I love that you can create your own characters in this fucking game too.
Yeah, and the thing that was tricky about that game that I never mastered was apparently counterattacks were the way to master it, to kind of win, which was when, you know, your opponent was attacking you had to push a certain button or a combination of buttons. I don't remember what they were at this point, but you would not only block that attack, but you would also counter it and do damage to them. I had a friend that mastered the hell out of it, and she whooped my ass in that game every single time.
Dude,
every single time.
That is a humbling experience where you're like, yeah, I got this shit. Well, let me show you how to do this. And then you're like, no, well, I'm fucking losing the second time now. It's great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's great.
So you're basically stuck on Horizon.
I'm still stuck on Horizon, yeah.
So explain it to me, like what is it that you're able to do in Horizon that you're able to go back in? Are you like building worlds in this game, or what exactly are you doing?
So there is no building in this game. It is an RPG, or maybe not even no, I guess you could call it an RPG. It's definitely a large open world. But where it differs from something like Fallout, for example, is there is no building mechanic. So you're not building bases. You don't have anything like that. Like whatever the world design is, that's what it is. What draws me to it is the story, how the story was told, and I really feel like it's original. Like, sure, there's some aspects, like we've all seen stories about the post-apocalypse, and they were caused either by AI or by machines or so and so. And in that case, or in that way, this game isn't that different. But how they tell that story, when it takes place, and the approach that they take with it is what makes it unique to me. And I really enjoy it. And I've been stuck on this game between the first one and the second one for years at this point.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay, I see the appeal to it. It's the first time you explained it to me, I was like this too. I was like, okay, I see.
Yeah, like there isn't there isn't really much of a crafting mechanic to it either. It's more of just like gameplay. The fighting mechanics are incredible as far as RPG goes. I think it's by far my favorite because instead of just clicking a menu and selecting an attack, you have to do absolutely everything.
Nice.
So you have to know the combination of buttons, and it's really quick and responsive. If you want to play on like a more difficult setting, or even be competitive in the game, like you need responsive monitors, responsive equipment, because if you have something with a quarter-second delay, you're not going to be able to play it on hard mode.
Fuck yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, if you had to choose, is there another game out there that kind of has your attention other than Horizon? Well, if let's say that you wanted to take a break from Horizon, what other game would it be? Something out there that you'd want to try?
Gosh, I don't know. I do want to keep trying with Fallout 4.
Nice.
I've mentioned I've had a hard time sticking with it just because of how clunky the engine is. But again, I don't want to say anything against the engine. It is an older engine, first of all, and second of all, it has far different functionalities than the Horizon engine. It has a ton of build mechanics, a ton of crafting mechanics, a lot more customization. You can kind of build your Fallout world, especially in Fallout 4, a lot more or completely the way you want it, pretty much. Versus in Horizon, it is what it is. So even though they're both open world RPGs, they play very, very differently. And coincidentally, they both take place in a post-apocalyptic environment, just for different reasons.
I played fucking Fallout 4. I still need to go back to it. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. The only reason why I stopped playing it is because I needed to fix some type of weird ass setting in Xbox, the Series X. I'm not sure if you've ever experienced this, but there's like a lag between the input that you're putting into your controller and what you're seeing on the screen. So what I usually need to do is bring down the resolution to 1080p and not game in 4K, and it fixes it automatically.
Interesting.
And the only reason what's up?
Have you looked into, like, Googled or anything at all about why that might be happening?
I honestly, that's the only way I was able to find the fix to it, is by fucking going on Reddit and seeing what other people were doing for this fix. So this is something that is definitely happening, and it's I'm not quite sure if it's really known like that, or if maybe it's just depending on the type of system you may have connected to your TV. It might be the TV itself, but yeah, dude, it's annoying and it's weird, but it really happens to the games that are older.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, if it were the TV, I would imagine it would happen across all games. The only thing I could really rationalize if it were the TV was if, let's say, you had a older TV and when it was handling a 4K resolution, it was having trouble getting it displayed as quickly as a lower resolution because of the slower chip. But if it's only happening with older games, then I'm kind of struggling to say where it might be coming from. But I did experience massive controller lag when I hooked up my PS5 controller to my PC. It basically was unplayable. It was almost a half-second delay on every single input.
That's weird. And was it like a wired connection or a Bluetooth?
It was wired. It was USB-C.
And that's supposedly, that's supposed to have like the lowest latency, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to. I think it's a software thing, really. Because again, it was a Sony PlayStation controller on a HP Microsoft laptop. So maybe if I bought an Xbox controller, for example, and tried to use that, it might run a little bit better. So maybe it's a compatibility issue on my end.
I see.
Yeah.
It's so weird, man. Hopefully we'll get to a point where everything's just like easy plug and play. We're getting to it. It's almost there.
Yeah, for sure.
So let me throw a curveball at you. Have you ever thought of the possibilities, and I'm pretty sure you've seen the crazy shows that are out there, the possibility of Neuralink, the fucking Elon Musk putting your brain into the internet? Would you?
As far as would I?
Yeah.
No. Would I? No. Again, I don't have social media or anything like that.
No.
And
You're missing the biggest coolest thing about it. The game that you're playing now, you'll be able to play that game. You'll be able to be in the game.
Right, but what are the not the consequences, but what else comes along with that?
Great question.
Like when I'm not in the game, are my thoughts being recorded? Are they being transmitted? Like, are they being manipulated? I understand this might be some I don't know, conspiracy thinking type of thing.
Mhm.
But it's difficult to trust something that's not even brand new yet, that's still in development. You know what I mean?
That is fair. No, that is 100% fair. I feel like that's definitely going to be the thing. I feel like in the future, if we do get the Neuralink, let's say that society, whoever decides to do it, they're gonna have to be okay with the terms and conditions for that software. And that terms and conditions of the software, I 100% believe that it's gonna take your information from what you dream, because that's your subconscious and what your, I guess, your primal wants and needs.
See, that makes it even worse because
Right?
I don't remember the name of that movie. I think it was a movie with Tom Cruise where they had like people submerged in some sort of fluid that could see other people's thoughts. You know what I'm talking about?
Absolutely.
And people would get arrested based on their thoughts and not their actions,
Yeah,
which are
dude.
two completely different things. And I don't want to be in that kind of future for sure.
That movie is called fuck, it was on the tip of my tongue. Yeah, Tom Cruise. It's a great ass fucking movie. It's one of my favorite movies from him. But yeah, it's basically they're stopping you from committing a crime. Potential crime.
Because you only had the thought of committing the crime. Just because you had the thought of committing the crime doesn't mean you would do it or you could do it.
Exactly.
Look, to be honest, I've had thoughts of committing crimes many times.
Who doesn't?
Especially when I'm pissed off. Yeah, who doesn't?
Yeah.
But I've never done it.
Exactly.
So, yeah, when it comes to that, like linking something into my brain, I'm not even comfortable linking my iPhone to my iPad, much less linking my brain into the whole thing.
I honestly feel like I'm in the middle right now, because yeah, that experience of being able to go into like a game like fucking Super Smash Brothers or Mario Kart,
yeah,
that would be fucking dope. To throw a shell, like we're kind of getting in it when if you ever gone to like a Universal Studios, they kind of show you like the VR experience, but like leapfrog 30 years from now, what's it all gonna look like?
I couldn't even tell you, because 30 years ago, if you told me that this is what it was going to be like, I'd be like, nah, not in 30 years, maybe in 100.
Right, dude? Like VR, it's
30 years ago, we were playing games where a dot was shooting a dot at another dot.
Yeah.
That's it. You couldn't even tell whether you were in a tank or in a car.
No, yeah, you make a great point. We were playing fucking Pong. Now we're playing fucking VR chat.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man.
So I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there'll be things that come along that hopefully regulate it, just like, things are coming along now where you have to consent to what information is recorded,
right?
How you're being tracked. I'm sure that will happen, but while it's the wild, wild west of that, I'm not sure I want to join.
I have a big suspicion that yeah, that's exactly what's gonna happen. It's gonna be a lot of seeing ads in your dreams. I feel like seeing ads in your dreams is gonna be the thing that those people are gonna have to deal with.
I haven't even thought of that. That is terrifying.
Yeah, this future's gonna be awesome.
How do you figure out the difference then? Was that my actual dream or was that an ad? Like, am I being coerced towards something, or do I actually want this?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
It's social engineering for you. Fucking wild. And it go ahead. No, go ahead.
At some point, I think once it were, common and safe, then I'd be down for Neuralink to enjoy the games, to be in them, to be the next step above VR. But until it gets there, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna wait and see. Right now, I'm seeing the medical side of Neuralink happen. Let's hope that Elon Musk we'll see what he's doing, what he's actually doing once we actually hear the actual tidbits of the Neuralink test subjects. I'm waiting
Yeah.
to hear that shit in 5 years or fucking 10 years from now. All the horrifying details from that shit.
Oh
Um,
God. People
but
hate him now. Imagine then.
yeah, dude. Have you seen any good movies lately?
Uh, I have not seen any good movies lately. I'm waiting to see a good movie, hopefully. The new Planet of the Apes is supposed to be streaming, I think, starting July 9th.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that because I'm a big fan of the new series, how they set up the events of the original movies. They did a really, really good, thorough job um, to the point of where it was almost excessive, but I'm really excited to watch the new one.
I skipped the last two. Or no, the last one and this one so far. I have to go see the previous one, and then I'll be able to see this one. But yeah, those fucking movies, man. Those are scary because those monkeys are also kind of going to their own stone age right now. I'm not sure if you've heard about the chimpanzees or was it orangutans that they're exhibiting I guess behavior that is I guess at the level of what
Primitive
we
humans.
primitive humans were around that time, and we're seeing
Yeah.
it like in live in front of us.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
the whole like is art imitating life or life imitating art? We're gonna see that in a few years once these motherfuckers start talking and want rights.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe it imitates each other. Maybe the reason that our art is the way that it is because somewhere deep down in our subconscious, deep down in our genetic programming, it happened to us. X amount of millions of years ago. Which I mean, we know it did, but
Mm.
are we witnessing it again?
Right? Who knows that? Who's to say that there wasn't like an intelligent being like how we are now back then, looking at us like, damn, that's wild. These fucking these monkeys over here are learning how to use sticks and stones to for
Yeah.
their fucking daily life.
Yeah,
It's gonna be interesting. Um,
definitely.
have you ever? I'm not sure if you've seen this on YouTube. I'm pretty sure you're into this type of stuff too, but it's called alternate biology, or not alternate biology, but speculative evolution.
I haven't heard of that. What is that
So
exactly?
basically, these really awesome artists on digital artists on YouTube made this series that is examining what potential life could look like elsewhere, and then what could potential
Mhm.
life look like if we split into different forms of humans.
Very cool.
in
Okay.
in one of the stories, and it's this whole genre. So there's this one book that examines this, and basically we are invaded by aliens, and the aliens fuck with our genes to the point where we're grotesque versions of ourselves, and we're different looking animals. It's really crazy to see. I get high as fucking watch these movies on YouTube. So it's something I'll gladly send you once we're done with the podcast here. But yeah,
Yeah.
dude, that is one of the things I like to watch. Is there any type of interesting stuff you like to watch out there, like that you would think is out there?
I mean, out there, obviously, I do believe that there are aliens out there. Do I necessarily believe that they're here or that they're watching us? Maybe not. But I firmly believe that the odds of us being the only intelligent species stuck on a rock in the entire universe is practically zero, in my opinion. There's got to be something else out there, and it's the chances of it being smarter than us are almost just as good. So definitely believe in aliens, and I think the most controversial thing that I think about, not necessarily believe in, is I think that it's entirely possible that there was a fully intelligent civilization, like you mentioned, prior to us, that there's just no trace of anymore. If they were around 5, 10, 20 million years ago, there wouldn't be maybe anything detectable left. Now, of
Yeah.
course, there's the argument, dinosaurs were around 65 million years ago and we're still finding their skeletons, but that's under very, very specific preservation conditions. Um, Everything else in standard conditions has been erased. I mean, when we had the last ice age, all those glaciers, they would have absolutely crushed any remnants of any kind of civilization that existed prior. So I almost feel like, in a way, it's not foolish, but egocentric to think that we're the first ones here,
Right.
considering the age of the planet and how little we've been around comparatively. So I think that's probably the most out there thing that I not believe in, but think is very possible.
No, I agree, dude. I also think that the possibility of this is going to be out there, but interdimensional um crossing over, I would like to say. Um
Yeah.
let's say that our dimensions with another, let's say a universe that's close by to us somehow bumps into our own and causes weird shit to happen. There's reports of people just disappearing randomly in the world. There's reports of fucking kid. I'm not sure if you ever heard of this story. There's two little kids walk out of a cave and they're all green. Their skin is green. Their hair is some type of weird looking color. The boy ends up dying from malnourishment because he doesn't eat anything. And the girl somehow survives because she chooses to eat some whatever things that she eats. And when she finally learns the language of the town, she says that she comes from a land of twilight and there's no sun, and it's like an ever darkness with stars or whatever. And this is an old ass story. I'm pretty sure people are hearing this and are yelling at their screen saying, no, that's not how the story goes. You know how the story goes. Awesome. Thank you for confirming it for me. But what I'm saying is that there's weird shit that's happened in the past that really makes you think, like, okay, we're definitely not alone. There's either aliens or interdimensional shit that's happening, maybe even both. Or both.
Yeah. Both.
There's this other shit. There's just weird fucking conspiracies out there. But there's the hollow earth theory. And have you heard of that shit?
Of course I've heard of that, yeah. There's the Earth and the hollow moon theory that everything is hollow.
So that's the weird thing about the hollow moon. I just heard about the hollow moon theory, and there's more evidence to back that than fucking hollow Earth.
Right.
Supposedly. But I need to dive myself into a little bit more of the whole hollow fucking moon theory. But like, how about we just start in the ocean? Like it's the old saying, like we've only fucking, there's 95% or 98% of the ocean that we don't know about. I'm like, cool, let's start there, because if we're able to go down there and be cool, we'll be able to go up there and be cool, at least in my mind. Who knows?
I mean, I'm a firm believer that there's things out there that we can't see and we can't perceive, and history has proven that those things exist, because back in the day we thought everything was made out of four elements: earth, fire, fire, wind, and water.
Right.
Obviously that's not the case. Now we know there's over 100 elements and how they interact and all that stuff. We can't see or perceive or feel radio waves, but they are there, or UV light, but it's there, or infrared. So to say that we don't have other dimensions interacting or other forces acting on us, I feel like that's kind of foolish, to be honest. So I completely agree with you that there's plenty of things out there that exist and we just can't perceive them or measure them yet.
Absolutely. Andrey, have you ever experienced anything you cannot explain?
I mean, I've seen things flying around in the sky that I couldn't identify, so technically that qualifies as an unidentified flying object, but it could have just been a satellite that I didn't know about that was supposed to be there.
Interesting.
I've never seen like ghosts or anything. I've hallucinated on mushrooms, but that's about as close. Yeah.
What's the
Yeah.
weirdest shit you've ever seen on mushrooms?
Oh God, I was in this natural hot springs in the Eastern Sierras on mushrooms, and it was the middle of the night, and the moon decided to come up over the horizon. I thought it was an alien spaceship there to fucking kill me. I didn't know for like the first 10, 15 minutes that it was just the moon rising.
Nice.
Yeah, it was trippy.
Very
But
cool.
I haven't done mushrooms that much. There was that time and maybe a handful of other times, but that's probably the weirdest stuff. I don't really enjoy seeing things that I can't explain because then I dwell on them,
Right.
and I don't like dwelling on one thing for too long.
No, that's healthy. That's a healthy way of, I guess, dealing with shit that like you're not trying to like bore your mind about. I'm like, no, fuck you. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah. You can't explain it. I don't want to see it. Let's move on.
Let me tell you about my weird ass experience with something I cannot explain. This is gonna be an ongoing story that I will most likely retell because I like telling it because it's just weird and it's funny. I was smoking weed on a balcony, and it was the middle of the night. I was in Silmar, California, here in San Fernando, and I was hitting my bowl. I can see that it was clear night. There was no clouds. I could see the stars, whatever. And all of a sudden, I see this weird, like, red cylinder shaped thing coming down from the sky, slowly coming down. And I'm like, that's fucking weird. That's got to be like some type of fucking balloon, like, you know, those Mylar balloons that are like for happy birthdays.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's what that is. And it starts getting closer, and I'm like, all right, that fucking balloon has fucking lights on it, and it's kind of going across it, around it, and strobing. And I was like, that's weird. And it starts getting closer. Andre, when I say that this thing looked like a giant fucking Coke can with lights on it, right down to like the color scheme,
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? Now this was before drones became a thing. Like this, if this was a drone, this thing should have been loud by the size of this thing, because it was a giant Coke can that looked like it was about the size of me, and it was just hovering there, and it was slowly coming down, and I was hitting my ball. I was like, I noped the fuck out of there. Essentially, I threw down the fucking pipe. I was like, fuck this. I go inside. My sister and my baby niece at the time were there in the living room, and the whatever it is kind of goes by the window, and both of them look over, and it illuminates that part of the room in red to confirm that I was not fucking hallucinating. Other people who were not smoking weed also saw this shit. What the fuck was it? I have no idea. All I know is it looked like a Coke can with lights, red lights strobing across it with no sound whatsoever.
Yeah. That's kind of in line with, I'm sure you've seen those videos released, or the videos released by the military recently, where there's like some pill-shaped something. I mean, it's white, it's not Coke can colored, but it's a cylindrical shape, makes no sound, moves at impossible speeds, accelerates at impossible accelerations. So that's not that far off. Maybe they're somehow connected.
There's a lot of people, you know, there's stories of people being abducted and shit. I wasn't about to fucking find out. Fuck that shit.
Yeah. Don't fuck around and find out.
I'm not about to fuck around and find out. Fuck that.
Yeah.
All right, so are you let's say an outdoorsy type of person?
I was when I was younger, and I'm not so much right now. The reason I was is when I was a kid, I kind of had to be, because my dad is an outdoorsy person. So every single weekend, and I mean every single weekend, he would drag me out to the mountains or to the beach or to go camping or to the desert. And it was fun, don't get me wrong, but at this point I think I'm just kind of done with it. I'm tired because sure, I can enjoy going camping. I can spend 2 3 days in a tent at a campsite by the fire, but at some point I want my bed, I want my shower, and I want to play a game.
That's one of the things that kind of has me apprehensive to do like a long stay out there in the woods. I love the whole being in nature. I have yet to do like a high dose of mushrooms in nature.
Hmm.
I did like 1.5, I think.
Hmm.
And that was cool. But I want to be like camping. I want to go camping, be in the stars, be all that cool shit. But even that, I want to be able to fucking take a shower. I want to be able to go use the bathroom. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
not worry about mosquitoes.
Not worry about mosquitoes. Fuck that. Um, if you had the chance, and this is gonna be funny because I'm pretty sure you're gonna remember where this comes from. If you had a chance to fight an animal, which animal would you fight?
Oh God, not a spider.
Not a
Um,
spider.
not a spider. Gosh, do I have to fight this animal?
Yes. This is a fight.
And I'm trying to survive, right?
This is a
It's
survival
not
fight. Yeah.
okay. Then I think my best chances would be against like one coyote,
Nice.
maybe one coyote. Just give it a forearm to bite into, and then rip its throat out with the other arm.
Smart.
Uh, but other than that, like I've mentioned to you before, I'd rather fight a bear than come across a spider. Obviously, I know the outcomes are going to be very different, and that's just me being somewhat sarcastic, kind of, overplaying my arachnophobia here.
Yeah.
But yeah, by no means do I want to fight a bear. I have been face to face with bears multiple times. It is terrifying.
What do you mean you've been face to face with bears? What? Tell me.
Yeah, like on all the hiking that I've done when I was younger, there were times where there were times that I was walking through the woods and I passed by a large tree that's to my right, and quite literally a foot or two on the other side of that tree is a giant black bear. Or the time that I was in Tahoe and I went down in my car for something, and I'm walking back to my hotel room, and just as I pass the corner where I'm supposed to make a right towards my room, right at that corner is a bear again. And you just see, like, I've got a pretty big head, but you see a bear's head that's like this much bigger than yours, and he's looking right at you, and you're just like, oh fuck, is this it? Like, is tonight the night?
Fuck that.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
yeah, and that's happened to me at least 3 times that I can remember that I was that close to a bear out in the wild, and it was terrifying.
Yeah. No. Yeah. That would be fucking terrifying. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've never experienced a bear encounter. Hopefully, I don't ever. I go hiking out here, and there's fucking cougars, mountain lions out here.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I've never ran into those, and we also have to worry about rattlesnakes out here too. Never have to deal with those. I only ever fucking see like rabbits and like little lizards, thankfully. But nah, dude. Wild fucking bear.
When I worked in Yosemite National Park, I was there for several months. They told us one thing. The thing is, what they told us was, by the time you know that there's a mountain lion near you, it's too late. They will follow you. They will stalk you. You will not even know that they're there. They are quiet. So you may have come across a mountain lion and you just don't know it. Very possible.
I want to believe that they're more afraid of us than that we are afraid of them, but I think that's bullshit sometimes. I feel like when it comes down to it, if they see a meal, they're gonna go for it. They're animals.
Yeah. Yeah, and it depends the condition and state that you're in. If they see that you're doing well, you're hydrated, you've got plenty to eat, they will follow you, they'll stalk you, they'll keep an eye on you. You won't know that they're there.
Yeah.
But if they see that you're frail, you're limping, you're running out of food, you might start seeing them a little more often, because at that point they realize there's not much you can do, because they're not dumb animals.
No, they're fucking smart. Predators usually tend to be very fucking smart animals. Um,
Yeah.
if you had a chance, would you have a bear as a pet or a tiger as a pet?
Oof, that's a tough one. I'm not a cat person.
Ooh.
Um, no, I mean, like, I'm fine with cats, but I prefer dogs. But anyway, gosh, I couldn't really pick between the two. Um, I'd almost want to say deer, but deer are also dangerous, which most people don't know. But I guess I'll go with the bear.
At least you can
Yeah.
try to raise it right somehow.
Somehow, maybe, yeah.
I honestly I would want to try the big cat, the big tiger, but I know I would most likely die with once the motherfucker is huge as shit.
Tiger King it.
Yeah, fucking Tiger King. You can take pictures. Perfect.
Yeah.
Dude. But yeah, man. I want to thank you for being on the podcast. I hope you are able to join me again. I'd love to have you on again and talk about random shit yet again. But yeah, dude. Hopefully you do choose to start some type of I think you kind of told me a little bit earlier. I won't add into it and let you kind of present it later on once you're ready to present it your YouTube channel. But that's going to be more of a personal thing. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. That's totally fine. I do want to work on it. It's something I need to focus on. I have a hard time finding the motivation when I get home from work, especially because, I got things I got to do, laundry, stuff around the house. I got to walk my dog. And at some point, I do want to relax. So sitting down and working on a project, even though I may want to, isn't necessarily what I have the drive for, at the end of the day. But that's something I need to work on. I end up sitting down and playing games and thinking about remakes of games that I want to see that aren't going to happen ever because that company is on the fritz with the creator, but whatever.
What are you talking about?
Metal Gear Solid 1.
Oh, shit. Are you kidding me? That's not going to happen?
The whole Kojima drama. I doubt, not one. Like, they're going to do a remake of 3. They're working on it, but I would love to see a current generation remake of the very first Metal Gear Solid. But it comes with its own challenges because of how gaming was at the time and the limitations of consoles and PC power. They had to design the game a certain way, which gave it a certain atmosphere and basically a certain atmosphere. So if they were to try and remake the same game with current technology, it would basically just be the same game, just sharper and shinier. But if they were to try to somehow integrate it more with current technology and what it could do, like more first-person views, then you sort of start entering into the realm of where you're altering the game itself, so it's not exactly the same game anymore. So I think there's a big challenge between trying to recreate a game that's 5 generations old, 30 years old at this point, and have it be still fun and playable but modern.
Yeah, dude, I think they try to do the same thing with fucking Dead Space. Have you tried Dead Space yet?
I haven't tried Dead Space yet.
So, do you know about it?
I mean, I know about it. Is there something that other than that it's out that I'm missing?
So, it's an old game that came out, like, I want to say 2010s. They remastered
2010s
it.
is not old. 2010s is not old. I remember 2010 and what I was doing and where I was working and who I was dating. That is not old.
Same. I understand that completely. But in the sense of the story, this game came out around that time, and they recently remastered it and they brought it back to life in basically current gen graphics, and it's fucking gorgeous. I would recommend it if you like that type of horror games. It's a game that my partner Lisa fucking love playing. I love seeing. I've tried it a couple times. I love playing those games, and I also fucking hate it because it gets my anxiety a little bit too up, and then I get like jumpy. But I guess that's the whole point. But I'll most likely be playing it on the fucking streams because it generates views, I suppose. But yeah, is that something that you've ever tried playing?
I haven't tried it, but I am a huge fan of Doom 3, the one that came out in like 2002. Like 2002, we can call that an older game, but even then,
Yeah.
Doom 3 had really good graphics for the time, and that game would be easier to modernize and recreate for current gen than, let's say, Metal Gear Solid 1. Because in Metal Gear Solid 1, you had the top down view, you didn't really have a sky, it just kind of disappeared into blackness. You had a very limited field of view type of thing, which are not limitations that exist today. So you would either have to completely redesign the entire game and the entire world, or it would just seem like a polished version of an old game. Whereas something like Dead Space or Doom, because they worked with more modern technology, I feel like it might be easier to modernize that because you don't have to completely change everything to make it look pretty. Just kind of like they did with Fallout 4 between PS4 and PS5. It's the exact same game, it's just higher resolution textures, and higher frame rate.
Hmm.
They didn't have to rework anything.
You know,
Have you played the first Metal Gear Solid?
I remember playing it. I haven't gone back and actually played it again. I know that I can do it with, especially because I have the Xbox Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute, is it available on the Game Pass? I actually don't know, but
I think so, because they did make it Xbox available several years ago. But do you remember that scene where you're at the top of the two really tall towers and you have to fight the helicopter?
fuck, dude, fuck yeah.
Okay, so that scene in particular, for example, I don't know if you remember, but there was no visible background, it was just a black background. If you tried to recreate that today, that would just look weird, especially with modern sharp graphics and 4K, proper lighting, ray tracing. A non-existent background wouldn't look right. But if you started putting in a background, started putting in mountains and all that, you're changing the game, you're changing the atmosphere. It's no longer what it was, because the fact that everything around you was completely non-existent and was just you on top of that tower fighting that helicopter, that added to the intensity of what was going on. Do you get what I'm saying?
100%. It was yeah, you got sucked in. You're playing it. I remember playing that fucking game. Yeah, dude, you brought me back into it. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, so I think that's the big challenge right there. Like, I'd love to see classic games like Tomb Raider 3 remade, but again, just the limitations that no longer exist would completely change the game. Or change it enough to where it'd be different, I think. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, because there's a ton of talented people out there that are way better and way more well versed in this stuff than I am, that could probably figure out a way to do it. But I'd imagine it'd be challenging.
I honestly feel like a lot of remasters are coming. I feel like there's I want to say a demand maybe for that. I see people definitely, especially I'm not sure if you heard or if you even played those games, but it was Marvel versus Capcom. They finally are bringing that to the Switch. I'm really looking forward to playing those fucking games, and you're gonna be able to play those games worldwide against people. So multiplayer is about to be really fucking cool. But yeah, dude, I'm looking forward to that. I want more of that. I want the old stuff to come back too. I might just be nostalgic, but yeah, dude, I love it too.
You got to try Helldivers on your new PC right there.
Yes, I have to try Helldivers. That's I have it saved on my list. Once it goes on sale, I'm gonna fucking jump on it. Even though it's at $39.99, I'm pretty sure it's not a big deal. But like I gotta save a little bit of money. But
yeah.
Again, Andre, I want to thank you for being on the podcast. I'd love for you to be on the podcast again. Of course, man. I have other shows I do on the podcast that I'd love you to be a part of. We do Horror Movie Fan Club. It's a show where we basically do reviews of current movies. We might even do some old school horror movies, but we basically we drink, we smoke weed, and then we do the podcast, and it's all done just like this, and it is funny as shit and fun as fuck. I'll let you know when we do the next one, but I'd love for you to be a part of that one as well.
Yeah, that'd be great. I don't have much experience in horror movies. I love The Shining. I think that's a fantastic movie.
Nice.
God, what was that? What was that movie that came out a while ago? Well, anyway, I'm not going to take up too much of your time. It was the one where it was like a home camera filming, in their house, like weird.
Paranormal Activity.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
really cool. The first one, enjoyed the hell out of it. After that, it kind of went off the rails. But yeah, go ahead.
If you're able to, the next one we're gonna do is A Quiet Place Day One. It's a movie that is gonna be released, I think, in the next, I think this week. If you get a chance to see it, just let me know, man. But yeah.
Yeah, send me a list of stuff I should watch, because as you can see, I can enjoy a lot of movies on that.
Let's go.
So yeah, just let me know. Yeah, I figured that was the appropriate background. You could see my
your setup.
PS3, PS4, and then there's a PS5 and an Xbox down there somewhere.
Let me know once you start streaming, man, because that's a perfect setup for streaming right there. It's a good frame right there.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'll try and get some clips of me playing Horizon, because I'm kind of proud of me, but all right, because I'm more than 300 hours in.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. Well, thank you again for having me.
Of course. I want to thank everyone who joined us on the stream. Be sure to leave me a comment, leave me a like, sure, do the bell thing, and we'll see you guys next time. Be good to one another, and bye. Stop recording.
Be sure to follow me on all the social platforms at NSIRick. And you can also email the show at notsointellectualpod@gmail.com. See you next time.